Ever wondered why your grassland doesn't flourish as expected? Could it be something to do with N, P, and K? These three letters represent nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, the vital nutrients that play a key role in maintaining soil fertility and promoting grassland growth. Understanding how these nutrients are stored in the soil, support grass growth, and where they originate from can be the difference between a flourishing field and a failing one. In the next few minutes, we'll dive into the world of soil nutrients and their importance for a healthy grassland. Firstly, we will explore nitrogen, often symbolized as N. Nitrogen is one of the most essential nutrients to the life of grasslands, primarily because it is a key player in protein synthesis for plants. Think of it as the building blocks of the grass's structure and health. Now, how does nitrogen get into the soil? It's a fascinating process, really. Nitrogen exists in the atmosphere, but plants can't use it in this form. It needs to be fixed or converted into a usable form. This is where soil bacteria come into play. They have a unique ability to convert atmospheric nitrogen into forms that plants can absorb through their roots. Once in the soil, nitrogen is stored in organic matter and soil minerals. When these break down, nitrogen is released back into the soil, ready to be absorbed by the grass roots. This cycle is a delicate balance, and it's crucial for the sustainability of our grasslands. Now, what if there's a shortage of nitrogen? Well, nitrogen deficiency can have a significant impact on grasslands. Grass growth can be stunted, and the color of the grass can turn yellow, a condition known as chlorosis. It's because nitrogen is a main component of chlorophyll, the pigment that gives plants their green color and helps them photosynthesize. Without enough nitrogen, photosynthesis is compromised, leading to this yellowing effect. This is why it's critical to monitor the nitrogen levels in your soil regularly. If you notice signs of nitrogen deficiency, you might need to consider supplementing the soil with a nitrogen-rich fertilizer. But remember, balance is key. Too much nitrogen can lead to excessive leaf growth at the expense of root development, making the grass more susceptible to drought and disease. In summary, nitrogen plays a vital role in promoting healthy and green grasslands. It's stored in the soil, converted by bacteria, and absorbed by grass roots to support growth and photosynthesis. A deficiency of nitrogen can lead to poor grass growth and yellowing. Now, let's move to the next nutrient. Next on our list is phosphorus, also known as P. Phosphorus, the P in our NPK trio, is a vital part of the puzzle when it comes to soil fertility and grass growth. It's a dynamic nutrient responsible for various functions within the plant. For example, it plays a crucial role in energy transfer and storage, and is a key player in photosynthesis, respiration, and cell division. So, how does phosphorus support grass growth? Well, it's simple. Phosphorus aids in the development of a robust root system. This is particularly important for grasses, as a strong root system allows the plant to access the water and other nutrients it needs to thrive. You can think of phosphorus as the nutrient that gives grasses their get up and grow spirit. But where does phosphorus come from, and how is it stored in the soil? Phosphorus is naturally present in most soils, but it's also added through organic matter like compost or manure, or through inorganic fertilizers. Once in the soil, phosphorus can be stored in several forms, some of which are readily available for plant uptake, while others are locked away in the soil's bank of nutrients. Now let's talk about what happens when there's a phosphorus deficiency in grassland soil. The grass may appear stunted or have a dull, dark green color. This is because phosphorus deficiency affects the plant's ability to produce energy and undergo normal growth processes. The roots may also be underdeveloped, leading to poor water and nutrient uptake. In the world of farming, this can translate to lower yields or poorer quality forage for grazing animals. That's why it's so crucial to ensure the right balance of phosphorus in your soil. Regular soil testing can help identify if your grassland is deficient in phosphorus and guide appropriate fertilization plans. Without adequate phosphorus, the grass may struggle to develop a strong root system. Now we'll examine the third nutrient. Lastly, we have potassium, or K. This vital nutrient, often underestimated, plays a crucial role in the overall health and productivity of grasslands. Potassium is a chemical element that's naturally abundant in the Earth's crust. In the realm of grassland soils, it's just as important as nitrogen and phosphorus. It serves as a catalyst, facilitating vital biochemical reactions within the grass plants. One of its key roles is to regulate water usage within the plant, ensuring that the grass maintains the right balance of hydration and nutrients. Potassium also plays a significant part in photosynthesis, the process where plants convert sunlight into energy. It aids in the opening and closing of stomata, tiny pores on the plant surface, allowing them to breathe and transpire effectively. The nutrient also bolsters the grass's defense mechanism, helping it ward off diseases and survive harsh weather conditions. It strengthens the grass's cell walls, making them tougher and more resilient. So, you see, potassium is a bit like the bodyguard of the grass plant world. Now let's talk about how potassium is stored in the soil. Unlike nitrogen and phosphorus, potassium doesn't form part of organic matter. Instead, it's primarily stored in the soil's mineral component. It moves around in the soil solution, waiting to be absorbed by the roots of grass plants. What happens when there's a potassium deficiency? Well, the grass becomes weak and more susceptible to diseases. Its growth slows down and it may even display visible signs of distress, like yellowing or browning of the leaves. This isn't a sight any farmer or grassland manager would want to see. Fortunately, there are ways to replenish potassium in the soil. Fertilizers rich in potassium can be added to the soil, restoring its nutrient balance and promoting healthy grass growth. Potassium deficiency can result in weak and disease-prone grass. But how can we know if our soil has enough nutrients? The key to understanding your soil nutrient levels is through soil testing. Now let's talk about the importance of soil testing. Just as a doctor wouldn't prescribe medication without first diagnosing the patient, you can't effectively fertilize your soil without knowing what it lacks. Soil testing is your diagnostic tool. It provides a snapshot of your soil's nutrient levels, giving you insight into what your grassland needs to thrive. How does soil testing work, you ask? Well, it involves taking soil samples from different parts of your land, then sending them to a lab for analysis. The lab will measure the levels of various nutrients, including nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, along with other essential elements. The results will tell you whether your soil is deficient in any nutrients and by how much. Understanding these nutrient levels is crucial in determining a fertilizer plan. If your soil is low in nitrogen, for example, you'll need a fertilizer with a high nitrogen content. If it's phosphorus or potassium that's lacking, your fertilizer should be rich in these nutrients. Soil testing also helps you understand how much of each nutrient is required for different purposes. If you're growing grass for grazing, the nutrient requirements will be different than if you're growing it for a silage crop. For grazing, you'll want a balanced supply of all three nutrients, with a slight emphasis on nitrogen to encourage lush, rapid growth. For silage, the nutrient needs are more intensive, especially for potassium, as it aids in the formation of carbohydrates and proteins, which in turn contribute to the nutritional value of the silage. Remember, different soils have different nutrient needs, and these needs can change over time due to factors such as weather, crop rotation, and farming practices. Regular soil testing, ideally every 2 to 3 years, can help you stay on top of these changes. A well-planned fertilizer strategy based on soil testing can ensure a nutrient-rich soil for your grassland. So, we have learned about the magic trio of grassland soil nutrients, N, P, and K. These elements, nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, are the foundation of a thriving grassland ecosystem, each playing a unique and critical role in grass growth. Nitrogen, that essential building block of life, supports robust grass growth by aiding in protein production and chlorophyll development. It's like the fuel that keeps the grass engine running. Phosphorus, on the other hand, is the energy broker, facilitating the transfer of energy from the sun to the plant. It's central to processes like photosynthesis, respiration, and energy storage. Without it, our grasslands would be like a car without a battery. And let's not forget about potassium, the health manager of the grassland. It regulates water and nutrient movement in grass cells, strengthens plant tissues, and boosts resistance to diseases and pests. It's like the grassland's personal trainer, keeping it fit and strong. We've also seen how soil testing is a crucial tool to determine the nutrient needs of the grassland. It's like a health checkup, helping us create a customized fertilizer plan to meet the unique nutrient requirements of the soil. Whether it's for grazing or silage, the nutrient needs may vary, but the goal remains the same: to provide a balanced diet of N, P, and K to our grasslands. Remember, A healthy grassland requires a balanced diet of N, P, and K, so keep testing your soil and adjust your fertilizer plan accordingly.